All right, today we are diving into something really ancient, but also incredibly powerful, the Isha Upanishad. Now, what's so cool about it is that it offers this really radical, almost paradoxical solution to a problem we all face, right? How to find real joy and freedom in a world that, let's be honest, often brings a lot of suffering. So let's see how this thing just completely flips our assumptions on their head.
So, right off the bat, the Upanishad hits us with this massive contradiction. Get this. What if the secret to enjoying everything was giving it all up? I mean, it sounds completely impossible, right? But believe me, wrapping our heads around this one paradox, that's the key to the entire teaching.
You know, we look at a scene like this huge, beautiful, kind of complicated universe, and what's our first instinct? It's to grasp it, right? To own a little piece of it, to feel like we possess it so we can enjoy it. But the Upanishad says, hold on. It argues that very impulse, that constant wanting, that's exactly where all our trouble starts.
Okay, so what is the fundamental problem here? Well, the Upanishad has a name for it, the ego's trap. It's basically a worldview that locks us into this endless cycle of wanting something, getting it, and then wanting something else. It's a loop of dissatisfaction. Let's really explore what that looks like.
And the language the text uses here is just so powerful. It calls desire a badge of subjection. Just think about that for a second. We tend to think of desire as ambition, as a good thing. But this text says, no, our endless wanting is the very mark of our slavery. A truly free being, well, it doesn't need to desire anything because it already contains and possesses everything right within itself.
This comparison just lays it all out so clearly. You've got these two competing ways of seeing everything. On the left, there's the egoistic view. And let's be real, this is kind of our default setting, right? A world of separate creatures, we're all competing for stuff, and there's this constant feeling that we don't have enough. But then, look at the right column, the divine view. This sees one single being, just in a ton of different forms. The whole journey to freedom, it's about moving from that left column over to the right.
So if that competitive, ego-driven view is the trap, how in the world do we escape it? Well, the Upanishad's answer is a complete 180 from what we normally do. It's a radical act of renunciation. Now, the crucial point here is that the goal isn't to stop enjoying life. Actually, enjoyment is the whole point of existence. But the path to free enjoyment, the kind that doesn't come with strings attached, requires a really critical shift. We have to renounce not the things themselves, but our desire for them. It's a subtle distinction, I know, but it has absolutely world-changing implications.
And this is so important to get. This isn't about becoming a monk and rejecting the world, people, places, all that stuff. It's an inner liberation. It's about freeing your spirit from that constant, needy craving for the forms of things, so you can finally enjoy their true essence.
So we're back to that central paradox, aren't we? It just seems to defy logic. I mean, if I don't desire a beautiful sunset, how on earth can I enjoy it? Well, the Upanishad's answer requires a massive, fundamental shift in how we see, everything. The solution to this whole puzzle, it isn't about changing what you do, it's about completely rewiring your perception. It's about seeing the universe and yourself in it through a totally new lens. Okay, so the Upanishad introduces its most important concept, the self, which is also called Isha or Brahma. And to be really clear, this is not the ego we were just talking about. This self is the universal consciousness, the one single eternal spirit that is the true reality of every single thing. It's in the tree outside your window, it's in a distant star, it's in the person next to you, and it's the truest part of you. That ancient symbol, Om, that you see here, that represents this ultimate reality. And the Upanishad uses this beautiful metaphor to explain it. The self is like one single resident living in a billion different houses. The houses might all look different on the outside, but the dweller inside is always the same. And here's the payoff. This is the big aha moment. When you really truly start to see this, when you can look at another person and see the very same self that's inside you, something incredible happens. The text says you become free from this thing called jugupsa, which is basically that feeling of repulsion or hatred or fear that we get when we see other people as separate and different from us. I mean, think about it. How can you possibly hate or fear what you know deep down is just another version of yourself? So this is a beautiful philosophical idea, for sure.
But how does it actually translate into the real world? Like, how are we supposed to live our daily lives with this knowledge? Well, the Upanishads provides a really practical path forward, and it's all about action.
The Upanishad is not telling you to stop acting or check out of life. Nope. It proposes a twofold path. First, there's avidya, which is basically worldly action. That's essential. You live your life, you do your work, you engage with the world. But you combine it with the second part, vidya, which is knowledge. You act with this constant awareness of that deeper unity, totally unattached to whether you succeed or fail, because you know your true self is already whole and complete, no matter what happens on the outside.
And this is the great promise. When you learn to act from this state of unity, the consequences of your actions, what people often call karma, they just don't cling to you. You can move through the world, be fully engaged, but without getting all tangled up in the drama of desire and success and failure. So, if you follow this path, this combination of action and knowledge, where does it lead? Well, it leads to an ultimate state of being, a final realization that the Upanishad describes in just the most breathtaking terms.
The text poses this as a rhetorical question, because once you get it, the answer is just obvious. If your sense of self has expanded to include literally everything, who is left to grieve for? What is there to be deluded about? You see, delusion and grief, they're products of separation. Once that feeling of separation disappears, they just have nowhere left to exist.
And we're not just talking about some abstract philosophical state here. As you can see, it has these incredibly profound psychological consequences. Hatred, fear, delusion, sorrow, all the big sicknesses of the human spirit, they're cured at the root. And you know what rushes in to fill that empty space? A spontaneous, universal love for all of existence, because now you see it all as yourself. The Upanishad uses another beautiful metaphor for this. It says the truth is hidden behind a brilliant golden shield. And what's that shield? It's the dazzling, beautiful, but also distracting world of appearances. The final step of the journey is to ask for that shield to be moved aside so we can finally see the face of truth that lies behind it.
And when that shield is finally moved, the seeker makes the ultimate declaration. The Purusha, which is that universal spirit, that conscious being that is there and there, in the sun, in the world, everywhere, he am I. The little individual self dissolves into the universal self. The journey is finally complete.
And so we're going to end by turning this ancient wisdom right back around to you. Because this isn't just philosophy, it's a practical question. I mean it. Take a moment and really consider this. If you could genuinely see the same essential self in every single person you meet and in every part of your world, how would your life change? Right here, right now? Your answer to that question, well, that is the living, breathing heart of the Isha Upanishad.